Hey, Dave. I can't hear you. Ah,
You hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Let's see. You sure?
You sound great.
Can't hear me?
I can.
I can't hear. Wait. Say something.
I hope you can hear me.
I can. Sorry.
Is it very clear?
It's very clear. I have like 1, 2, 3. I got 4 microphone options and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 speaker options. So I shouldn't have that. I shouldn't have that many, but I have a laptop and then I have desktop speakers.
Yeah.
We have a headset for our Zoom is our phone system as well. So we had just moved over. It was really good timing. As soon as it was the very end of February that we switched our phone service over to Zoom for a VoIP phone system. And so we'd been using Zoom for this for a couple, 3 years. And
nice timing.
Yeah, it was really good timing because we sent everybody home and they were already good to go. They just needed, you just set everybody up with a headset and then the whole phone system's online.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, and I have to use different speakers based on if I do Zoom or GoToMeeting for some reason, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. It's default speaker mode. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Oh, well, how's your week going?
Well, we're really busy. And, we're setting everybody is, but nobody feels sorry for anybody who says like, oh, we're really busy. It's like, well, yeah, everybody. We had a processor, we were talking about training new people. We had a processor that we had been training for the last 6 weeks that quit yesterday and just as looking at the hours going, I don't know if I want to work this much, right? And so
get me out of this industry.
we have the good news is we have 12 interviews this week. We're doing group interviews for processors. We bring 4 in at a time. And so we're going to hire between 4 and 6 probably to start a training program now, because hopefully in 6 weeks you could give them, a file a week as they learn how to manage the pipeline and build up from there. So, yeah, we gotta have more people. And I got 2 new loan officers that look really good that I could be hiring in the next 30 days as well. So new to the training program. So yeah.
Good for you. Well, tell me a little bit about who's on this call again today. This should be all of our sales team along with the loan officer assistants, right? So it's not going to be any processing people. Okay. This is a weekly call. So we do this every Tuesday, and it's scheduled for 30 minutes, but everybody knows it can go over. So if this doesn't, I don't want you to feel like you have to rush through this. But I think I'm right at 25 minutes. Perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Yeah, no, that's perfect. So, and it should be, Giuseppe closing, 50 loans a month right now. Chris Hauber, 35 to 40, Jacqueline, 25 to 30. Amazing. And brand new people. One of the people that's going to be on it is one of the guys that's in the training program right now. And this week he's just studying for his licensing exam, and he's taking the licensing exam on Monday. Right. And, but I invited him just because this is such a great topic. And so I typically don't, I've decided, I haven't done this a lot yet, but anybody who's in that stage of the training, they don't need to do any of this until they pass the exam. Because if they don't pass the exam, it's all a waste of time, right? So that's kind of the first hurdle. Okay. Right. And then I'm back with you guys in 2 weeks on the 11th, it looks like. Okay. And we're talking about mindset. Perfect. So I have that presentation ready. So I'll send that to you today as well for your review. Okay. Let me just write that down. I'm going to go grab some water and coffee. Do you mind? No, go for it. All right. So people might start jumping on. Well, I'll say hello. There's the birthday boy.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Are you working from home during all of this?
No, I'm back at the office.
Are ya?
My office just looks like it's my living room.
So you're going to just share, can you share your screen? Can you make sure you can?
Yeah, I was just getting that queued up here. Let me minimize over here.
Okay. All right, everyone. Hey, thanks for jumping on. And you can see that Rebecca Lorenz is joining us. I met Rebecca, gosh, it was 2 years ago, maybe almost 2 years now that I went to Ninja Mortgage up in Fort Collins. I had been a big fan of Ninja Selling, the book, for a couple, 3 years after I had read it. And, you know, we had all talked about it here. And then I went to Ninja Mortgage and really liked it. And so far on our team, Jacqueline's the only other one that's gone to Ninja Mortgage. But as you know, like we talked about it quite a bit here. And so Rebecca was kind enough to reach out a month ago and just said, hey, we're doing this. Would you like to? And she actually reached out to Jacqueline. I said, yeah, this would be a great idea. And so she's got a presentation today. It's called Flow 2020. Rebecca, thank you for joining us. And this is like the first time we've actually had a guest since we started doing these. So we're really happy to have you. So take it away.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm honored to be your first guest. I'm a huge fan of Dave and Jacqueline's, and like Dave shared, I teach Ninja Mortgage, run their Ninja Mortgage coaching, and with everything going on, we thought these monthly calls would be really helpful in sharing a little bit about what Ninja Mortgage is about. But most importantly, I guess what I would say is we're all swimming in abundance. We're busy. We are trying to stay on purpose, but it's really easy to slip and become reactive, or what we call it Ninja on accident. And so today I just wanted to share a little bit about what we call flow. And flow is frequency of interaction. It's the contact and the touches that you're having with those in we call them clients, but really clients for a loan officer would be borrowers that are purchasing or refinancing, but our clients are also our strategic partners, like our real estate agents. So how do we keep in flow with everyone right now when we're doing maybe double, triple the volume that we're used to doing? So I'm going to share a little bit about this, about flow and what it means to us at Ninja. I'm going to share a little bit about some interviews I've done with top producers and what they're asking for right now when their loan officers are so busy and they need a little attention. We'll talk a little bit about what flow looks like. If you want more information, I know Dave and Jacqueline know this, but that's what we're here for. If you want to know more about what flow, what's a sample, what does this look like on a monthly basis, what are some mailer or topic ideas, reach out to Dave or Jacqueline and just have them let me know. We can get you some samples or ideas so that you kind of have a deeper understanding of what we're talking about. And then I'm going to come back in August, and in August we're going to talk about mindset, because I'm sure you all have a great mindset, but burnout is real, and your mindset plays such an important role in that I'll be back in August and we'll have a new topic then. So without further ado, we'll jump into flow. And one of my favorite things about Ninja, I went to the Ninja Selling installation 9 years ago. And what I really loved about it is that it taught a lot about how I already have a lot of business around me. I don't need to go knock on doors. I don't need to buy leads. There's really abundance if you, what we call, widen your perceptual map and see the abundance around you. With family, with friends, we're all in these different spheres of life, depending on what we enjoy doing, where we network, maybe if you have children or significant other, what they're doing. How do we get more on purpose and focused on what's right in front of us to create that abundance? So this is some of the research that's been done. We know that people prefer to work with those that they know. If I know someone, I feel a level of comfort with them, I like them, and I trust them. These are kind of the three nuggets right now. The thing is, how many loan officers do you think the average homeowner or borrower know, like, and trust? I've heard anywhere from 5 to 8 seems to be the most frequent guesses. And since we're not really in a classroom, that's usually what I hear. The other thing, is there a difference between people I know and people that know me? Absolutely. There's a lot of people I know that don't have a clue who I am. So what am I doing to change that? Well, this is the fourth component, is flow. We need to want to work with people that know us, like us, and trust us, but we want to set ourselves apart, and we need to be in flow with them, because what flow does is it creates top of mind awareness. And it sounds pretty simplistic, and I kind of thought that same thing is, well, I send out a mailer a few times a year, or maybe they'll see something online. I talk to them if they call me. This is about intentional flow, staying in touch, becoming part of what we call their carousel. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Here's where some of the data and research comes from. It's Harris Interactive. They do all kinds of data research. They're a great firm to follow. This is what a lot of us are feeling like right now, is swimming in abundance. I try to keep it positive, and instead of saying, I'm drowning, I'm so busy, oh my gosh, I can't hardly come up for air or even find time to eat lunch, it's abundance. We are so lucky when the rest of the world has these fears around, where is my business coming from? Where is my next paycheck? We're not only swimming in abundance of production and volume, we're also helping families save money. And so you'll get to know that I'm a huge fan of this industry. I'm grateful every day that I stumbled into it. And so Harris Interactive in their research says, you know what? Each American household knows at least 4 people doing something in real estate this year. 4. So what does that look like if you have a database of 100? Let's just say that. I know some of you have thousands, some of you have hundreds. Maybe you're newer to the business and you have 10. That's okay, because that's what this is about, is getting so focused that we're growing that database because we have the time and focus to do so, and really creating that top of mind awareness. So this is a chart that we created. You'll see the ninja business strategy. It's not a transaction mindset. We're not focused going to closing, enjoying the closing, walking out the door and saying, okay, where's my next deal coming from? The ninja business strategy is this: how do I focus on those that already know, like, and trust me, and earn and access their referrals? So the pie chart you see up on my screen right now, that green square, that green piece of the pie, is representing the last year that someone lives in their home. Now this cycle, these 8 pieces of the pie, are representing one cycle of living in a home that each of our borrowers go through. The National Association of Realtors came out and says the average American lives in their home 8.4 years. Now, a couple of real estate agents I've gotten really close with are also ninja instructors, have gone through their databases and said, you know what, 80 to 85% of my clients, this is spot on. They're moving every 8.4 years. Now I've seen everything from 6 years to 13, but for this purpose, I'd like us to use this data. The green square represents what everybody else in our industry is focused on, is that last year. The Zillow leads, the Redfins, the Open Door, anything out there that wants you to jump into what we call the industry mosh pit of pushing and shoving and trying to access all of these last year referrals of people that are moving. That's where most of our agents that aren't ninjas or are competitions focused. Now, I know Jacqueline and Dave are ninjas, and you guys are going to learn, I hope, to have some good takeaways today. That's not where ninjas focus, because we know this. At the closing table, that's just the first cycle of them being in this home over the next 8 years that I have the opportunity to start a relationship. It's a referral mindset, and every year I have an opportunity to earn up to 4 referrals because I'm in flow with them. I'm top of mind to them. And so I think about that. It's certainly abundant. And then that 8th year, my goal is to earn 5 because they'll be buying their new home, and I'd like to earn that purchase as well. The interesting thing is that there's 33 potential transactions or closings in this cycle. So if they're living in their home, they bought 123 Main Street, we've just closed, the relationship is a continuation or a start. I'm working for the referrals every year. The other interesting thing is I run my own flow calendar. I know year 7, they're starting to think about moving. And I know this because the data says so. In fact, there's some mention of it in the most recent report that came out, the 2020 Realtor Guide. Year 7, if I know they're going to be moving that year, I increase flow year 7 in my database every time. Because as they're thinking of moving, I want to be top of mind. I increase my phone calls, I increase my marketing, so that I can earn that referral going into that 8th year. So this is the breakdown. If there's 33 potential referrals each time they live in a new home, times 4 cycles or 4 homes, they say the average American lives in 4 homes. Each person in my database, it's pretty abundant, could earn me 132 closings. Do I need all of those? No. In fact, even if I looked at my database, and depending on the size of your database, if I earned 1 of those 4 referrals every year from every person in my database, it's probably more volume than most of us could handle. So let's think about that. What if we stopped being in that mosh pit that 8th year and started focusing on all of the opportunities during that entire cycle? So what I'm going to talk about now is flow. One of the things I didn't mention as we started is I know there's a chat box. So if you have questions, and I know I'm moving right along, please fill it out. Dave can watch the chat box. Certainly stop me if you have questions. This presentation's for you, and so I want to make sure if there is questions that I answer them. So Rebecca, I see the opportunity. This makes a lot of sense. Maybe you're thinking, gosh, I really need to focus on my database more, be a little more on purpose with it. What does that look like? Well, this is the breakdown of flow. And we believe there's 2 kinds of flow. There's what we call live flow. Now, live flow is, I like to say, if my mouth is moving, it's voice to voice, it's face to face. Right now, it's video to video, screen to screen. And at Ninja, we have a thing called the Ninja 9. And we recommend 50 live interviews a week. Now, Monday through Friday, maybe that's 10 conversations. I coach one client and she hammers 30 out on the weekend. Now, these aren't conversations saying, do you know anyone looking to purchase or refinance? Do you know anyone looking for a mortgage? It's just building the relationship, because Ninja's all about relationships. The second kind of flow is auto flow. Auto flow are those things that when I'm doing my business planning in October, I kind of set out my January through December 2021 flow calendar, and it might look like this. January, I'm going to send this direct mail piece about new conforming loan limits to my real estate agents. I'm going to send a Happy New Year to my clients. It's mail, it's email, it's Facebook or social media posts. There's all kinds of ways that I stay in touch with my clients. And there's 2 things that are important to mention here. I change it up. It can't be all what Rebecca likes because first, I have different personalities in my database. If you're familiar with DISC, you have power personalities, you have power, party, perfection, peace. You want to appeal to different personalities. So when I write out my January through December, I'm thinking about these different personalities. I'm also thinking about their learning modality. Are they visual? Do I need to have a postcard with some great graphics? Are they auditory? Do I need to record some videos or call them on a Zoom call? Or are they kinesthetic? Do they need to hold something? Do I need to do a mortgage review that I mail to them because they need to hold something while we're talking? And this is all part of really defining this flow calendar. Now, what we've learned is the best kinds of flow are valuable. If there's two takeaways from Ninja, certainly it's creating relationships and creating value. What's going to be valuable to a client or a real estate agent right now? I'd like it to be customized. Maybe it's customized to their loan type. I'm sending something out to everyone with a VA loan or an FHA loan. My first time home buyers that have been in there about 6-7 years, I know they're thinking about moving. What data do they need to know going into the next phase of things? Personalized. This is, for me, this is maybe something with their name on it, their family name, an annual mortgage review with their personal loan information on it. And then we say it should be a combination of art and science. And I always say art is the heart. Those cute things you get in the mail that mean a lot to you. I love the cute stuff. I put it up on the fridge or I keep it around for a little bit. Science is the mind. I need to show them I know what I'm talking about. I can't send recipe cards all year long and have my borrowers think I'm a resource of value and mortgage and real estate industry information. So how do I balance that knowing different clients need different things from me? Something to put into your flow calendar thought process. So what I'm going to shift over to now is we talked about flow, the importance of it, some of the research around it. I wanted to shift here because if you remember back over here, I talked about live flow. And live flow are those calls that we make to update our clients on their refinance. Hey, the appraisals come in, or just a weekly update to our clients, our borrowers, and our realtors. The reason I want to touch on this and give ourselves about the next 10 minutes is because this is the low-hanging fruit. If you called me and said, Rebecca, I'm too busy, this all sounds great, but how do I focus on the low-hanging fruit right now just because I'm in kind of the survival, hunker down to the basics mode? Well, these live interviews, or what we even call client service calls, is what it is. And in fact, some research came out, but I haven't even created a slide on it now, but I want to share it with each of you. It came from the Stratmore Group. And if you're familiar with Mike over there, he took this database of, I believe it was about 5,500 homeowners, borrowers. And after they closed on their home, he sends them this survey. He wants to collect all kind of data. And this is what I love that he came out with. A lot of the data he collects is for individual companies. But if he sees trends across the board, he shares that information. And he said 97% of clients report having a better loan experience if their loan officer reached out to them before they had to reach out to the loan officer. I mean, to me, that seems so simple. I know we're busy, so right now, maybe not quite as easy. It's one of those things that's really easy not to do. But then a spiral starts happening is what I've noticed. Because when I stop calling proactively with updates, they have to call me and I've lost control of my day because my phone's ringing all day long. The second thing I want to share with you, so if my clients have a likelihood to be 97% happier with me as a loan officer, more likely to use me again, more likely to refer me. If I just call them with an update once a week, that's probably something I should be doing. The second piece is this. How many loan officers do you think are doing this? And I know we can't really guess out loud here. I wish I could see all of you as much as you can see my screen. Well, the answer is this: 2%. 2% of loan officers are calling their clients every week. I hope that 2%'s ninjas. So this is why it's important. Our competition isn't doing it, but the second piece is our clients want it. So let's talk about the benefits of this. Well, it gives you fabled service. Fabled service meaning they tell the story of what it was like to work with you. Oh my gosh, when I worked with Jacqueline, it was so smooth. She stayed in touch with us. She's amazing. You have to work with her. It creates these raving fans. The second benefit is this: it reduces interruptions. When I start working with a client, let's say a borrower, I'll say, you know what, I'm going to reach out every Tuesday morning between 10 and 11 a.m. I'm going to give you an update on where your loan's at, anything I might need from you. So just know I'll be calling between 10 and 11 every Tuesday morning. Now, certainly if you have any questions before that, write them down or call me, email me, but just know that I'll be calling you every week with an update. It takes a couple weeks, but what happens is I go from reactive on accident, emails coming in, hair on fire, phones ringing off the hook. Some of you know what I mean. You look at your phone and there's 23 new voicemails. What this little step of client calls does is it reassures them once a week they're going to talk to you. And they can hold on to some of their questions because they know they're going to talk to you. If you wait weeks to talk to them, you will have a laundry list of a 30-minute phone call to go through. And they'll close not as happy as if you called them once a week. The other thing it does is it allows for them to open what we call their reticular activator. They're focusing on referrals. It's top of mind to them. And anyone looking for a mortgage, they're more apt to refer you. So what's the best source of referrals? Because I know right now you're thinking, Rebecca, I've got so much abundance, I don't need more referrals. Well, what we do now, those daily and weekly habits that we commit to now is what sustains us through this end of the year and next year. We avoid those peaks and valleys in our production. And the best source of referrals is active clients. Sorry, my screen is, there it goes. We talk a lot about the reticular activator in the Ninja Mortgage installation. And it's about this big, the tip of my pinky finger. It's at the base of my head, skull in the back, base of my brain. And what it does is it seeks out things that are top of mind to me. And what the phrase is that we use a lot around this is what you focus on expands. If I buy a new car, we see it everywhere we go. That you can train your brain on what you want to focus on. Now we'll talk more about this on our next call because it has a lot to do on mindset and what we're seeing in the world, but it also has a lot to do with active clients. Because when they're in the middle of a loan process with you, whether it's a purchase or refinance, their reticular activator is going off in every conversation they hear at work, at church, they see on social media. They're thinking so much about a loan and you that's when the best referrals are earned. You're in flow with them. I hope that you're calling them once a week. They're getting updates from you. You have created such a phenomenal fabled experience, but you're also in such flow with them, calling them weekly, that you're top of mind. And they know 4 people moving this year. In fact, the abundance of it all is if I don't earn it, let's say a refinance, they go elsewhere. That's no problem to me because I know while they're in this house, I have another 132 possible referrals I can earn. I wish them well. I give them anything they need and I stay in touch with them. Because if I lose one loan, that's okay. I have a growth mindset. I have 132 other ones that I'm going to earn from them. So the Ninja referral mindset's this. These clients know at least 4 people who will be moving this year. How do I access and earn their referrals? Well, it's with the mindset of this. My next transaction is embedded in this transaction. My next loan is embedded in this loan. So what can I be doing instead of just to get through the checklist and get this loan done to really develop the relationship here? We call it accessing their carousel. And we talk a lot about Ford during the installation. And Ford is this. F is family and friends. O is occupation. R is recreation. And D is dreams. And so if I'm accessing people's carousels, I have a client and their family and friends, maybe they have small kids at home. They have a school carousel. They have kids play baseball and do gymnastics. That's another carousel of their life. Occupation, they work at a local engineering firm. There's a carousel. Recreation, they're in a jeeping club, in a wine club, a book club. What they do for fun is all part of their sphere and their carousels. And how do I access those? Well, this is how we do it. Referrals are built on relationships. When they have a great experience with you, they're ready and more prepared. People like to refer people they trust. And that's how we build trust, is through relationships, authentic relationships, and staying in flow with them. And so I'm going to share one more nugget with each of you. Certainly on a future call, if you guys wanted to talk more about Ford, because it's really a way, if you have any kind of call reluctance or discomfort in calling, thinking, am I bothering them? I don't know what to say. This is such a great tool. And I know it's hard to say that and be vulnerable and say, I'm really uncomfortable on the phone, but it's a reality for a good majority of loan officers and people in a sales industry. So I'm going to share with you what we recommend as far as if you're saying, Rebecca, right now, I would love to do weekly status update calls so that my clients are updated and informed. And I do these for real estate agents. I do Thursday mornings for real estate agents. We use the 5-step calling process. And I use this because it builds the relationship, it updates the client or realtor, and it keeps to 2 to 3 minutes. And quite frankly, we only have about 2 to 3 minutes if we're doing this with everybody. So I just want to walk through this with you so that you know what it looks like, or kind of a little bit more of a picture of what it looks like. Step 1. Hey Bob, it's Rebecca over at Zenith Home Loans. Did I reach you at a good time? Or is now a good time for you? And I just let them know. They know I'm calling. I've already set the stage for that. I introduce myself. Then I move to step 2, which is Ford, which is that common ground we just talked about of the carousels of their life. I usually say something like this. How's the family doing? How's this week treating the family? How are you guys this week? Something, I usually just have step 2 always be around family for me. How did that gymnastics competition go this last weekend? Anyways, the purpose of my call is to let you know we got your appraisal back in. Everything looks great. We received those updated bank statements. Thank you for getting us that last page with nothing on it. How are things going at work? Did you open back up, or are you going to be at home a little bit longer? I just moved to occupation. Sometimes I say, are you guys doing anything fun this weekend? Thank you so much for your time. I'll be back in touch next week at this time. If you have any questions in the meantime, please don't hesitate to reach out. I honestly can keep these to 2 to 3 minutes. Now, if only 2% of our industry is doing this, this is what I would say. If I just called and said, hey Dave, it's Rebecca, your appraisal's in, I'm sending a copy, have a great day, that would be beyond what anyone's doing already. But at Ninja, we want this, we want more. We want you to build the relationship. And that's what steps 2 and 4 do. Most don't do steps 2 and 4, but that's where relationships are built. I did an interview with some top producing real estate agents a couple months ago, and this is what they shared with me. And I'm sharing this because I use the same process to update my real estate agents. And during the call, and I'll send a copy to Dave and he can watch it and see if he feels there's value in that, he could forward it on. And as we're going through the interview, they're saying, gosh, when our loan officers aren't busy, we're hearing from them all the time. They're saying, I haven't heard from anybody in weeks, if not months. Nobody's reaching out. And what they're saying is, we're scared right now. There's a lot of uncertainty right now, and we're not hearing from our loan officers. So takeaway number one for me was, we need to double, triple time it with flow with our real estate agents right now, because no one else is. And they're saying that's valuable to me. The second thing that they shared is, one of the questions I asked is, what are some really great things loan officers have done to be in flow with you that you found value in? Because I don't know if you struggle with that, but I used to struggle with that a lot of, what am I going to send that's not junk? Let's just be honest. And a couple takeaways that I want to share with you guys are this. Let me know when my clients' birthdays are. I never see their IDs. I never know when their birthdays are. I would love it if you let me know, because you're probably sending a card anyways. Another one said, can you just send me a little reminder if you're doing home anniversary calls? Could you send me a reminder? Because I'm not as organized as my loan officer is, and I would love to know when their home anniversary is. We can create value through our business of being on purpose. Teach them about the 5-step calling process. Next week, or 2 weeks, we're gonna talk about mindset. Share it with them. So the final takeaway I wanna leave each of you is this quote by Charles Darwin. And he says, it's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. So I hope you'll consider some of these changes we talked about today. If you've read Ninja Selling, awesome. If you haven't, it did come out on audiobook. I believe there's some special days on Amazon where it's 99 cents. So I wanted to let each of you know about that.
Oh, nice.
So thank you.
Rebecca, just real quick, that was great. Thank you very much. Real quick, do you have any what other feedback from the agents did you get? Because the whole idea of right now, we know it's more critical than ever, because I'm certain that most of the loan officers are just completely ignoring them. What other feedback did you get in those interviews with those realtors that would be a good takeaway for our team?
That's a great question, Dave. One that really stood out to me, and it's an hour interview, and I'll certainly share that, is, I know you're calling your clients every week. Can you call me too? Can you call me with an update? I want to look like a team in this. I don't want to look like they're getting updates from you and they know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Basically, make me look good. And that's why I say these client calls are important for the real estate agent as well. Create value, reach out to me, help me look good, whether it's during the loan process or during the transaction. If it's after, help me out. If you're newer to the industry, I don't know how many of you are newer loan officers, but one of the questions was, how do I break into some of these new agents I know I would love to work with? How do I reach out to them? You know what? This is the way. Create value. If you get the opportunity to have a new agent on either the buy side or the list side, that is your opportunity to shine. Are you going to get lunch with them just calling? Maybe, maybe not. Probably not, is my experience with those you really want to work with. You wow them during the process, because only 2% of loan officers are calling their clients every week. I imagine it's 1% or less are calling their clients and their real estate agents every week. I talk a lot about this with some of the other Ninja instructors, and they're saying, I don't work with any loan officer that keeps me updated. I don't work with any loan officer that I don't have to call or email constantly for information. So I think it starts there, Dave. I think they just want to be informed.
Right.
If you hear something about conforming loan limits or a program, or educate them, create that value and share it with them, so that instead of it being, I'll hear loan officers say, I hate working with real estate agents. It's probably because of our mindset of not being a team. There's this long ingrained I don't know, thought process that the real estate agent's on one side and I'm on the other, and we have to not work cohesively together. And I just don't agree with that. I think that if you can really hammer out a great flow during your purchases or refinances that includes everyone, you will have more real estate agents in business than you can handle.
Yeah, it is just the fundamentals. That's what it's always been. That's what I liked about it. For those of you, whenever they're going to do Ninja Mortgage installations again, I'd highly recommend it. I don't know when that's going to happen or when everybody's going to feel safe enough to do that. But the thing I liked about Ninja Mortgage so much was nothing in there was earth shattering, except it was all so well presented. The fundamentals of course, that's what you have to do. Of course you stay in touch. Of course you do these things. It isn't any rocket science approach. If you haven't read Ninja Mortgage or Ninja Selling, the book Ninja Selling, that's exactly what it is. It's just the day-to-day. Well, yeah, have 10 conversations a day. We talk about it all the time, right? So anyway, Rebecca, thank you very much. Looking forward to the 11th. Yeah, forward me the interview that I'm sure I'd love to watch or listen to or watch. And then I'll circle back with you on getting the 11th all squared away.
Wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Lauren. Have a great day. Thanks, everyone.